Turning now to Decision 2024. On Thursday, just one day after the four candidates not named Donald Trump had their fourth debate, CNN announced plans for two additional debates in January in Iowa and New Hampshire, where the caucus and the primary are respectively held next month. These debates have yet to be approved by the Republican National Committee. But in a move that surprises literally no one, Trump has already announced he will not be attending either. Now, this comes as this week we got a possible look at what a second-term President Trump's cabinet could look like, and it's pretty grim. According to Axios, Trump already has a list of possible picks to lead his second-term administration, including former Fox News' Tucker Carlson as, get this, Vice President of the United States, getting a push from, of all people, Melania Trump. And the rest, well, it's a rogues gallery of loyalists and MAGA favorites, including Steve Bannon, Stephen Miller, Rick Grenell, and even son-in-law Jared Kushner. No shocker there. One thing is clear. If this reporting is true, a second Trump term will be about purge and punishment. So joining me now for more, Rick Wilson, co-founder of the Lincoln Project, Republican media strategist, and the author of Running Against the Devil, A Plot to Save America from Trump and Democrats from Themselves. Rick, my friend, this Axios report of cabinet posts under a second Trump term presidency reads like a who's who of incompetents, incels, and insurrectionists. How is this list not immediately disqualifying for Donald Trump?
Because Donald Trump exists in an entirely separate media bubble now. He exists in a world where those people are the pictures of his America First movement, when in fact, these are people that you would not put in charge of a Waffle House. They are dangerous. I mean, the combination of your alliterative three I's is equaled by the fact that they're dumb, dangerous, and deviant. These are really strange people. These are people that Americans, if they take a long look at it, will be repulsed by what these folks believe. But they meet the one standard Donald Trump has set, and that is absolute loyalty, that is absolute obedience to Trump. There's nothing about these people that reflects the excuses the old Washington hands made in 2016 of, oh, we'll have some people who know what they're doing. They'll steer the ship. They'll help him do the right thing. None of that's real. These people are going to go into the office to punish their political enemies, to deport 10 million people, to ignore the rule of law, and to burn down the United States government. They want an untrammeled authoritarian government, and these people will implement it for Donald Trump.
Well, we could also do subservience, sycophants, and suck-ups, right? And we could go through the alphabet if we really wanted to, Rick. We could just do that, your whole segment. The Messenger also reporting a list of 20 possible attorney general picks that include Capitol Hill conservative firebrands, state attorneys general, first-term loyalists, and some of Trump's personal attorneys. Now, we all know how that turns out for somebody who ends up being a lawyer for Donald Trump. Tellingly, Jeff Clark's name in that mix. So what do you think about these names and what it says about Trump's brand of law and order should he actually get a second term?
Well, once again, if you're Donald Trump and your argument is Bill Barr wasn't enough of an obedient servant, then you really are entering a new territory in the American jurisprudence. The people he's talking about naming to the Attorney General's office are not in the great tradition of Attorney Generals independent of the president and the White House. They're not there to enforce the law. They're there to enforce his will. And so, again, these are people you would not hire as lawyers in a strip mall slip and fall law firm. But they are obedient to Trump. They will do as he chooses. They do as he asks. They will redirect the lie that they tell now about weaponization of the DOJ and actually make it real. It's projection for what they want when they say it's happening right now.
I will correct you, Rick Wilson. He does hire lawyers that come from strip malls that do personal injury. Alina Habba. Maybe it was a garage. So we're going to take it was a garage lawyer. Let's take a serious turn, though, right? Let's take a really quick listen to Trump on Fox News this week being honest, brutally honest about what his return to office would mean. Take a quick listen.
Under no circumstances, you are promising America tonight you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one. We love this guy. He says, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one.
Rick, your latest Substack is entitled Day One Dictator. In it, you write, the fire is coming faster than we want to admit. I mean, there are some of us that are sounding the alarm as loudly as we can. And even though we may joke, tongue in cheek maybe, about the sycophants and the loyalists, What's it going to take, though, for people, everyone, to listen? Because Trump's making it very obvious, and I feel like some people really aren't listening to what's going on.
I want to make an appeal to my friends in the media to follow the Jay Rosen rule. Start talking about the stakes and not just about the odds. If we cover this campaign like a normal campaign, if we pretend that this is an ordinary campaign, we're going to end up with something very dark as a result. And we've got to look at this. We've got to look at Trump. And, they used to joke, oh, take Trump seriously, but not literally. No, you have to take him literally as well. You have to believe the words he says when he and his people and the implementers of his will are out telling us they're going to start governing as an authoritarian, autocratic dictatorship. When they say those words, they mean it. Hannity was trying to bail Trump out.
Yeah.
And yet Trump still revealed his actual desires. And that should scare the hell out of Americans, because it will go quickly. They will ignore the law. They will ignore precedents. They will ignore tradition, and they will do things that will shock Americans at a level that is beyond their comprehension as of right now.
Yeah, we better learn now and pay attention now versus sitting there having the regrets later. Rick Wilson, as always, thanks for being here, friend. I appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend.